Hello again, YouTubers. I know that I've been doing a lot of videos about work and stuff lately, and I don't know. By the way, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a coffee snob or anything, but I do like coffee, and I think Colombian's my favorite. I've tried them. I've tried a lot of different ones, African, Cuban, stuff like that. But I think that the Great Value 100% Colombian is really good. I have just a little cream and sugar in it, and it's not bad at all. It's probably too late to be, drinking coffee. Oh crap! I didn't even realize what time it is. I actually just made dinner as well. Tonight it's tetrazzini tuna helper with 1 can less tuna than it should have in it. Apparently these things call for 2 cans now. Thankfully it seems like you can get by with 1. But a lot of times I don't even look at the time on stuff. And I know you're not supposed to drink coffee late or, eat late or anything like that, but my computer says it's 1:10 a.m. So it might be up a little bit. Chances are, if you're watching this, you've probably watched some of my other videos. There's the honest day's work for an honest day's pay videos, both A and B. And there's the unchecked emotions videos. There's 3 of those, A, B, and C. I've touched on the topic I'm going to discuss now in a couple of those, and that is what makes the job perfect. My parents, who are good people, hard, honest, good people. My dad, has held pretty much the same job for like 35 years. My stepmom, I'm not clear on how long she's done what she does, probably about 15. Now, they're from kind of a different time, almost, because getting, keeping, and doing jobs has sort of changed since, they got theirs. They're kind of, them and people their age are sort of grandfathered into the system, because no one really expects them to have degrees and stuff. You didn't really need them back then. Experience meant a lot. Knowing somebody that could get you in meant almost as much then as it does now, I would think. But they tend to believe pretty much any job that it seems, when I talk to them about working, jobs that offer benefits are worth it. Now, with healthcare laws and everything changing, I guess they could be right there. But I kind of would, and then of course there's salary. $7.25 is minimum wage, federal minimum wage, and Texas pays that, $7.25. Some states pay a little higher, but Texas, you get a minimum wage job, you start at $7.25. So in Texas, if you're making $9 or $10 an hour, you're doing quite a bit better than minimum wage. And in North Texas, probably you'd want to try and get at least that, because if you don't, if you're making just minimum wage up here, you're gonna have to live in cheap digs like I do, or you're gonna have to get another job, or you're gonna have to share living with somebody. So I guess salary is probably more important than benefits. Out of the two, I don't really say that because the salary is sort of immediate. The benefits you have to work for a while. And, some people don't have problems with their eyes, their teeth, or health. But since again everybody's going to be required to have health insurance, jobs that provide benefits are probably going to get to be more popular to have. So for people like them, or that category of people, I should say, rather than just trying to say my parents are like this, I'm taking a wild guess, really. So for that category of people, the work itself is almost irrelevant as long as they can do it. Now, when I was younger, my father used to come home and I could tell if he was not happy. A lot of the time. And I didn't like seeing my dad like that. Because, I know he's doing that for me in part. And I know he does it now because, his situation requires it. If he could be retired and, work on his books and stuff full-time, or his ministry or whatever, he would probably do that. In fact, I know he would do that. But it just isn't feasible right now. Now, I might represent another kind of group of people because I do care about salary a little bit. Until this whole healthcare thing changed, I didn't really care about benefits all that much because I figured, well, I should be saving my money anyway. And if something seems like it's starting to come up, I can just, pick some benefits up just to take care of the situation, right? And pay the premium for, a while or whatever. Or, get some insurance that might be more expensive, but I can start using right away, or something like that. Now, that being said, salary is kind of important because, what if you do have to do that? It'd be hard to do that on minimum wage. And, I've known some people, I've been one of them for a while, who'd be willing to, live in their car and pay for a shower every other day at a motel or, a truck stop or something, just to have a job at all and sort of be able to save some money and afford some things at some point. Because minimum wage these days is pretty much just destitution. Just short of it. If you're living alone, you're going to be, mainly paying for, all your just your living expenses. Now, if you could find a good weekly rate at a motel or something, where all your utilities are going to be covered, some people do that. I lived at a hotel for a while. It worked out all right. It was a little expensive, the one I was staying at, but it was the cheapest one. So if you could find, a motel that had internet or something, and they could charge you, say, $120 week or something like that, 140 a week, you might be doing all right there, actually. And some of them will work that out with you. You know, they can kind of be uh, you know, a little more open and everything. So, with all things like that considered, uh, scheduling, I think, is the most important thing for me, because I do have family. You know, got a brother and a sister-in-law, and you know, mom and a stepmom and a dad and a mom down south. That, you know, and you know, cousins and aunts down there that I should probably go see now and then. So this thing that a lot of higher paying companies do, where they kind of, you know, separate, you know, you get 2 days off if you're lucky, and then they're often not together, it just doesn't really work for someone like me. In fact, when I worked for Dish Network, I worked a 10-hour shift, 4 days a week, and had 3 off a couple different times. It took a little getting used to, but once you were kind of used to the extra 2 hours, the 3 days off a week was really, really beneficial, especially since that company has mandatory overtime. You know, you'd still have 2 complete days off a week. Now, they may not always be together. You might have 2 together and then 1 apart. One time I had all 3 together, and that actually made working there fairly bearable. So, for me, personally, the scheduling is, you know, much, much more important than the benefits they may or may not offer, or, you know, sometimes even the salary. I might be prompted to take less money for a job that has a little more freedom like that, and then just try and sort out my living, you know, in a different way. The place I'm living at here is pretty cheap, so I could almost work something part-time and have more kind of free time and be able to go to school and sort of start to get by. So that's probably going to be the sort of one of the primary things I'm looking for. A reasonable salary, a little bit higher, at least the minimum wage if I can manage it, and a good schedule. And then I guess there's going to be a part B on this one. I'll be back in a second.